Hello, good evening and welcome to the 61st Washington International Horse Show presented by Mars Equestrian. Our first competition of the week is the $50,000 Welcome Stakes, a winning round format class, and we're going to see just over 30 in the first round of competition. Olaf Pedersen Jr. setting the course for this afternoon's first round, and we'll be back at 7 o'clock this evening for the winning round. 16 athletes come back for that winning round, and they will come back on a 0 score regardless of how they qualify. If we have more than 16 clears in this first round, it will be on the basis of faults and times, so it will be the 16 fastest clears. Rowan Willis did so well at last year's World Equestrian Games. He is going to lead us off before West Coast-based Cassia Rivetti. Glut of Irish riders: Jordan Coyle, Shane Sweetnam, Dara Kenny, all in a row. Dara recently promoted inside the world top 10 on the Longines rankings. Alex Granato, winner recently in Columbus, Ohio on Longines FEI jumping World Cup action. After Alex, we've got former winner here at Washington, Bert Mandley, Peter Lutz, Lacey Gilbertson, Margie Goldstein-Engel, Amanda Derbyshire, who's leading rider here a couple of years ago, leading international rider. Devon Ryan, Devon who was part of the gold medal winning US team last year. Brianne Coutel-Marteau, Jos Verlooy, who makes a return to Washington, having ridden here a couple of years ago. Here we catch back up again. Got Cormac Hanley, Devon Ryan. Devon Ryan is said there with Cooper. Let's say over the page from those, we're going to see the likes of Jos Verlooy. Brian Mowbray, Brian who's the winner of the Live Oak International World Cup qualifier in Ocala, Florida this spring. Andy Coker, big 5-star Grand Prix winner at Spruce Meadows this summer. Kent Farrington, former winner here of course of the President's Cup, which is the prestigious trophy awarded for the World Cup qualifier. Aaron Vale and Major Aaron has won this President's Cup before now. He's also won the Puissance here at Washington, which is a almost unique class now here in North America, the Puissance at the Washington International Horse Show. Captain Brian Cannan, 5-star rider at Dublin this year, and Nations Cup rider for Ireland. Natalie Dean, Natalie who was a individual bronze medalist at this year's Young Riders. Got Erin Ballard, former Canadian national show jumping champion. Skylar Riley and Key Limbo will be our 30th of 32. And over the page we're going to see Savannah Jenkins, and last to go Andrew Wells. Andrew's already picked up some valuable points this season with this horse, Primo Troy, a top 10 at Thunderbird, and we saw him jump World Cup in Old Salem in New York at the American Gold Cup, and also at the Split Rock Jumping Tour in Columbus, Ohio. So as we mentioned, Olaf Pedersen Jr. with the course for the first round set out here in a very tough arena. It's normally it's a multi-purpose sports arena: basketball, hockey, ice hockey. Of course, here in the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, which means that we have great length, quite narrow, and it means therefore that we have a difficult challenge for the course designer to lay out the various tracks he needs: speed championship tracks, this winning round, Grand Prix jump-off format tracks. Olaf Pedersen Jr., no better man, great job a couple of weeks ago in Columbus, Ohio, and recently announced so as designer for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup finals to come in Las Vegas.
And certainly placed in the middle of the World Cups and winning the Nations Cup Grand Prix last year.
Rowan Willis is going to be our first to go. Rowan picked up points at Thunderbird Show Park in Langley, British Columbia, and at Columbus, Ohio on World Cup action this year with this horse Diablo. Diablo, an 11-year-old by Douglas. Rowan had such a good run on his way to the World Equestrian Games in Tryon last summer, where he ended up individually just outside the top 10. He's runner-up in the Masters Grand Prix at Spruce Meadows this summer as well, and is a career winner of the Nations Cup Grand Prix in Ocala, Florida. So a lot of the riders and trainers really concentrating on that first line from 1 to 2. Again, as most of the lines will be, it's a dog leg down there on the right. Coming up here, the triple combination comes up really early on this track in the first round. Swing around the top of the ring now to the water tray. And it's a bow line down the arena now. Sitting out at the apex is that big oxer. And then turning back now to number 7. And again, you just see Rowan try to control the stride, because when you're down on the event level, what the horses see in their eye line, it's very full looking at the bottom tier of seating, particularly there at number 2 and at number 7 as they go towards the in-gate as well. Rowan on just the 1 down at the moment. It doesn't necessarily preclude him. I mean, at the moment we've got 1 and 2 will qualify for the winning round, and they get to come back on a 0 score. So it really is all to play for here. Jumps that big Mars equestrian fence. He's going to pick up a time fault. So 8 for jumping, 1 for time for Rowan Willis and Diablo. 69.76 the time taken. 68 seconds the initial time allowed. So 9 faults the standard. As we say, 1 and 2 will go through. We've got 32 on the start. There's 16 guaranteed to come back by schedule for the winning round, which comes in our evening performance today. First horse in the ring at 5 minutes past 7. Becara de Archenfoss is the ride of Cassio Rivetti for Brazil. Cassio, riding for many years for the Ukraine, returned to riding for Brazil in 2016. He has his points in the West Coast Sub-League. He was 6th at Sacramento. We saw him at Langley, British Columbia, and at Del Mar just recently as well. Cassio has actually been based out west in California since pretty much this time last year. Cassio's horse just finds a more natural distance from 1 to 2 than we saw for Rowan Willis, which potentially means Rowan was able to get 1 to 2 okay, but on a very similar question, 6 to 7 is where he started to come on stuck. Just has to really reach down that triple line. Cassio just asked for a nice long one out at the end of that stride pattern, out over number 7. What a good round so far. Through the Longines double at 9AB on the 12 fence track. This could be our first clear round. 69 seconds the time allowed, looks okay as well. Oh, he was just off that Mars equestrian. There wasn't a lot the horse could do about it, I'm afraid, to reach that back bar. So it's 4 faults in 65.21. Becara de Archenfoss and Cassio Rivetti are best in the clubhouse. 4 faults at the moment. There was 16 coming back in the winning round, and they all come back on 0. Their scores are erased from the first round. Adrian Sternlicht. Saw her jump the World Cup in Ohio a couple of weeks ago. She also jumped through the Gold Cup meeting, but didn't jump the qualifier there. Had a very good show, particularly with this horse, Tulago, at the Hampton Classic this year. 3rd in the Longines Cup. And also 2nd in the jump-off class at the Gold Cup with Tulago. That was a class won by McLean Ward, with whom Adrian now trains. Just see the white of the horse's eye. He was just looking around him all the time. They had an opportunity to come in and school some fences in the ring last night, a 90-second training round. Just get a little bit used to the atmosphere here in the Capital One Arena. Just a little bit of inattentiveness there from Tulago, unfortunately, is going to mean it's 4 faults. So it's the 16 best scores coming back. So reality, she would like to be a little bit faster than Cassia Rivetti, if possible, 65.21, to help ensure her place in the winning round. And looks good. 63, 46 and 4/4 for Adrian Sternlicht and Tulago. So that's our best so far. That's the first of a couple we're going to see from the gold medal winning team at last year's World Championships. And Katie Dinan goes next. Katie rides Dougie Douglas with us here tonight, but picked up her best points so far with a podium finish at Gold Cup with Brago R&B to give her 15 points on the league. Katie already in her career a 4-time World Cup finalist, 3 times a World Cup qualifier winner in her career. This has been a very good horse for her, since being the record show jumping horse auction sale out of Goresbridge in Ireland a few years ago, produced to the Nations Cup and top level by Holly Smith of Great Britain. Katie, who works with Beat Manley, a former winner here, just moves up on the approach into that triple. Just a moment's hesitation in front of the water tray when he turned back to it meant that, again, she had to be there to react and ask for the move up to the big sustainability oxer in the middle of the arena. Real balancing act, because he's a great big powerful horse with a super stride, but all the time she's just having to ask him to get back out in front of the leg and really take on this course. And if he was a smaller striding horse shrinking into himself, he'd be having poles left, right and centre. It's going to be time, unfortunately, though. Clear for jumping, 1 for time, but that's our leading score in the clubhouse, 69.29, time allowed 68 seconds. Katie Dinan and Dougie Douglas. Yeah, Hardental goes next with Jolly Jumper. This is a combination. We're second in a 2-round Grand Prix at Spruce Meadows this summer. Oakmont Stables, Jolly Jumper by Eldorado. Harden, a runner-up a couple of years ago in the Central Park Horse Show Grand Prix. Twice a World Cup finalist. Actually, interesting. Fence 2 hasn't yet gone, but they're all arriving at it in a slightly different way. Nearly a full house down that line. 3 of the 4 on the side of the arena down. I mean, it's hard to imagine that 20 faults is going to be in the top 50% of the result, but the format of the class is such that it is definitely worth carrying on as long as your horse is still learning something. It's still, jumping well. At the moment, I think Harden wants to do exactly that. He wants to have a better second half of his round than he did in the first half. He had 5 down in quick succession. Just had a late falling pole there a moment ago as well, so it's going to be 24. Again, I would be surprised on 28 plus 1 whether we're going to see Hardental in the top 50% of results, but were he to come back, he would start from 0. He could win it as much as anyone if he is one of the 16 to qualify through to the winning round.
This is Mary Tyree's
Cat Tyree goes next with Mary Tyree's Enjoy Louis. Cat, who's Class winner here on day one last year. Won this welcome stake class with Bokai. The US Nations Cup rider, including the likes of Falsterbo and Hickstead in Europe this summer. Now the top 10 in the 5-star Grand Prix at Saugerties in September. Kat's actually got a tremendous record in that September Grand Prix at Saugerties. She's been podium, top 5 and top 10 there in the last 3 years. Just climbs a little bit all over that vertical, coming off the corner. Good riding to get down through the triple combination, because she just made a little bit of adjustment of pace and attack going into the triple, which she really needed to do. Just keeps things very calm then and closed, going to the vertical towards the in-gate at 6. This is going to be our first clear. No, it's going to be just outside time as well. Katie Dynan is on 1, and so is Kat Tyree. Kat Tyree is slower, goes into second place here for jumping. 1 for time for Kat Tyree. So Katie Dynan leads, Kat Tyree second, Adrian Sternlicht, Cassio Ravetti. There are 4 falters there in third and fourth as things stand. Well, Irish Nations Cup rider Jordan Coyle with Eristov. Jordan, who's on the podium in the Small Tour Grand Prix at Longines Global Champions Tour Mexico City this spring. Previously had picked up a World Cup win in the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Series at the new venue of León in Mexico, spring of 2019 as well. Takes the vertical, going out the double for his second rail down on course. This horse really ballooning up in the air, making a lot of these tricky distances much more difficult. So it is faults and time, 17 in all for Jordan Coyle. Next to go, Shane Sweetnam, Sweet Oak Farm and Spy Coast Farms, Dalen by Larimar. Shane is ranked inside the world's top 30 at the moment. Had a very good couple of seasons at the Hampton Classic over recent years. Was on the Irish team at the European Championships 2 years ago that won gold, and was also on the Irish team last year at the World Equestrian Games. Picked up a Very valuable second place finish this year. The Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of London. Just see him there wrestling to get the just 8-year-old mare to come back to him a little bit on the way into that Longines double, and it wasn't to be. Here's the Chinatown gate vertical, rolls back to the last of Mars Equestrian, and another one just slightly paddling through the top. They're not reading the top of that fence particularly well. So it's 8 faults. We've got 2 on 1, 2 on 4, and Shane Sweetnam is our only rider on 8. So he goes into 5th place as things currently stand. Quarter of the way through the starting field there, with Shane Sweetnam's ride completed. Well, now it's the turn of Dara Kenny and Classic Dream. Dara, world number 9 ranked rider. Won the individual Queen's Cup and was part of the Irish team that won the Nations Cup finals this year in Barcelona. Top 5 finish in the last 2 years running in the Aachen Grand Prix in Germany, and a winner this summer of the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Chantilly. Clear turning back up the ring on his approach to the Longines double, just slightly angles his way across that white oxer. That brings up this double. Very, very sweet stride for Dara Kenny. A very positive round and a very good time as well. Textbook, really, really nice round there. Just unfortunately the 4 faults for Dara Kenny and Classic Dream. So that will go into 3rd place, by far and away our fastest 4-faulter. Katie Dinan and Kat Tyree are still just out in front. You see them there replacing the back bar of the Lugano Diamonds fence on the way home for Dara Kenny and Classic Dream. Well, 2 wins in World Cup action this year, this calendar year, for Alex Granato. He won one of the final qualifiers of the season at the Palm Beach Masters at Deer Ridge Farms, Wellington, Florida in February. And he won one of the earliest qualifiers this season, in Columbus, Ohio, last time out. Both with this horse, Carl Chen. Alex, who this time last year had just come back from representing his country in the Nations Cup finals. Went on then this summer to go to the Pan American Games in Lima, Peru, when he was part of the US team that won bronze. Through the Longines double, just the final couple of lines to go for Alex Granato and Carl Chen. Remember, nobody has yet jumped a clear. So of course, no guarantee that a clear is for sure through to the winning round until we've seen more than 16 actually jump. But here we go. There is clear round number 1. Alex Granato with the horse that's won 2 World Cup qualifiers this calendar year. Carl Chen, and that is clear round number 1. Not far away from being able to confirm that that is going to put him through to the winning round, but it certainly gives him the best shot of anyone so far. Former World Cup champion and former winner of the President's Cup here at Washington, Beat Manley, with Grant Road partners Simba. Beat went to the Nations Cup finals just a couple of weeks ago. He's been based here in the US for a couple of years now, but actually returned to the Swiss A squad for the last 2 years, including selection to represent them at the Nations Cup finals over in Barcelona. Beat was on the podium this year at the Palm Beach Masters show we mentioned a moment ago, that was won by Alex Granato. Really rattled the middle part of the triple as well, but it's the Oxer on the in and the out, the vertical, my apologies, on the in and the out at the A and C elements that go. Putting on quite an early 8 faults. Faults, the best he can hope for is 9th of 11. And just into time as well, 12 for jumping, 1 for time, 13 faults. Does go into 9th position as things currently stand. 9th of 11 we have seen so far in this $50,000 Welcome Stakes winning round competition. It's quite a start as well. That's one of the reasons we have that 90-second open jumper schooling last night, because we start with this competition at meter 50. Our second class today is a meter 45, which is more where you see a ranking show start its tour. The runner-up this time last year at the Columbus, Ohio World Cup qualifier, Peter Lutz. Peter with Quinta. He's a career winner of the World Cup qualifier at Las Vegas. The US Nations Cup rider in recent years as well, including at Jalapa in Mexico. Still just the one clear, Alex Granato and Carl Chen. Katie Dinan and Kat Tyree are on a single fault. It's 16 coming back for us for the winning round. Peter Lutz drops to 4 faults with the first part of the triple combination down. On 4 faults we've got Dara Kenny, Adrian Sternlicht, Cassio Rivetti. Peter dared the horse up there. This is a short turn across the top of the ring, gives him that second pole, unfortunately, coming down over the B&D Builders. 1 more to go. He's conscious of the time and it catches him. It's 8 for jumping, 1 for time for Peter Lutz and Quinta. That will go into 9th position, 9th of 12. Equal with the score of Rowan Willis. Rowan, though, a little bit faster earlier on as our number 1 in the ring, so Rowan still sits in 8th. So Lacey Gilbertson on course. Lacey we saw on a European tour to the likes of Nokke in Belgium and Chantilly this summer in France. Grand Prix winner at Tryon this year as well. And 3 times a finalist at the National Under-25 Championships. Lacey's already jumped World Cup this year at New York at Old Salem Farm. And jumped the 5-star Grand Prix at Tryon in recent weeks as well. Lacey and Palopi clear the Chinatown gate, turning towards home. 68 seconds to time allowed. Looks very comfortable. This could be clear round number 2, and indeed, oh, it is, just by 0.45 of a second. Alex Granato remains our leading score, 65.16. Lacey Gilbertson is second best at the moment. That's after 13 rides. Once we've seen more than 16, we can start to say who are guaranteed qualifiers. At the moment, even our clears don't know for sure that they're coming back. But it's 1 and 2 will eventually come back because it's 32 starters, 16 allowed to come back for the winning round. Margie Goldstein-Engel, Margie and Dikas. This horse has been something quite special against the clock with us all year on the Longines Global Champions Tour. Margie, who was runner-up at Columbus, Ohio on Longines FEI Jumping World Cup action this series as well. With Dikas. Just into time. 3 US lady riders, Margie Goldstein-Engel, Katie Dine and Kat Tyree, all on a single time fall. The top 5 actually all US riders. Margie's the 3rd best score though at the moment. She's the fastest on a single fault, 68.18.
This is not a small horses normal in the age.
Amanda Derbyshire, Cornwall BH for Great Britain. Amanda just ridden in her 2nd Nations Cup finals for Great Britain. Part of the bronze medal winning team at this year's European Championships as well that helped secure British Olympic qualification. Had a couple of good results on the World Cup Tour last year. Top 5 at the Royal in Toronto and top 10 at the National Horse Show in Lexington, Kentucky. It's a great clear round there for Amanda Derbyshire. It's our third clear, second best of them in terms of the time. Alex Granato is still out in front with Carl Chen, but Amanda Derbyshire and Cornwall slot into second place. Lacey Gilbertson down to third, and behind them the three single faulters: Margie Kolstengel, Katie Dynan, Kat Tyree, fourth, fifth and sixth. Another rider recently returned from representing her country at the Nations Cup finals. This is Laura Kraut with St Bride's Farms Fleurette by Verdi. Combination were winners of a Grand Prix at this level, the 4-star at Grimaud, just outside Saint-Tropez last month. Triple, not necessarily the most influential, of course, but it's certainly playing its part in the faults that are going out to the athletes in this $50,000 winning round welcome stakes. A fast 4 fault, though, could easily find itself in the top 16, and it's 16 that come back for the winning round. Really is all to play for, because it's a winning round format where they will start that second round of jumping on a 0 score. 68 seconds time allowed, just really wheels around that Longines clock to come towards home. 4 faults in 67.12. Down the order a little bit, 10th position. Our fastest 4 faulter was in 62.92 for Dara Kenny. Incredibly fast around this track. Laura Kraut becomes our 4th on 4. Well, this is a combination that picked up some points in New York at the Gold Cup. Cormac Hanley with Heathman Farms VDL Cartello. Cormac was a class winner at his home Nations Cup show at Dublin this year. Jumped double clear for his country in Nations Cup action at Thunderbird in Langley, British Columbia in Canada. And Cartello and Cormac were top 10 in the Hampton Classic Grand Prix. Now the second fence goes. One of the first, if not the first time it's gone in the Welcome Stakes. And the first pole that Cormac had down guaranteed Alex Granato's place in the winning round, and indeed Cormac is going to call it a day and retires on course.
Another part of that sensational gold medal winning team for World Championships last year, American Gold Cup winner, and certainly some other great appearances in 2019 as well. Devon, and this is the Classic Grand Prix a few weeks ago, Ryan says 12-year-old.
A world gold medalist from Tryon last summer, Devon Ryan. Devon rides Cooper here today in the Welcome Stakes. Devon's well up in the standings at the moment. He took a 4th place finish in the American Gold Cup this year, part of the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Series here in North America. He's a former winner there, having won in 2017 with Eddie Blue, and Eddie then went on to be runner-up in the World Cup finals in Paris the following spring. So one confirmed qualifier for the winning round, that's Alex Granato and Carl Chen. Just really takes a pull on the way down to number 2. Now Devon just kind of Tries to harness that enthusiasm, go forward with the horse. Try to do all this preparation for this whole bow line up at the top of the ring before going down the line of three. It's not just the specification of the ring, it's the specification of the class with the quite short time allowed that means that they're all, you know, they're knifing over that big white oxer down in the corner of the ring on the way up to the Longines double. Bring it home clear. If he's faster than 66.48, he's straight into the qualification. He's not guaranteed just yet, 67.84, but he's done the best possible. He's gone clear. He's fourth at the moment. But at the moment, that means that qualifier number 2 is Amanda Derbyshire. Alex Granato and Amanda Derbyshire confirmed to come back. Lacey Gilbertson and Devon Ryan wait to see what happens yet. Brian Gutel-Marteau goes next with the fly hood and saddle cloth for the Kevin Babington appeal. Round with Rosehill Farms Viva Colombia. Viva Colombia and Brianne with top 10 at Upperville and just outside the top 10 at Devon this year. Brianne, a two-time World Cup finalist, a career winner of the Hampton Classic and the World Cup at Old Salem. Just unfortunate there at the very last. 4 faults for Brianne Gutel-Marteau and Viva Colombia. 4 for jumping, 1 for time. Total of 5 goes down into 12th position. And it means that Lacey Gilbertson and Balopi, they are now confirmed qualifiers. That is 3 safely assured of their place. Alex Granato, Amanda Derbyshire and Lacey Gilbertson will be coming back for the winning round. The next to go, individual medalist and part of the gold medal winning team at this summer's European Championships, the #1 ranked under-25 rider in the world, Jos Verlooy. Jos has been here to Washington before. He's a career winner of the Puissance here at the Capital One Arena. Jos with Eurohorse's Varau. Eurohorse and Jos's father Axel Verlooy are no strangers to success here either at Washington. Harry Smulders, a 2-time winner of the President's Cup with their horses. Jos on a little bit of a tour. He came over, he jumped 5-star at Tryon last week. He's here going on to the National Horse Show in Kentucky next week and then up to the Royal Winter Fair in Toronto. This and the next 2 weeks all being part of the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Series. Further to the right of centre than a lot of people over that big white oxer. just be pushing it a little bit time-wise. Jos Verlooy, 1 to go. It's clear jumping, and 67 and a third on the clock, so Jos Verlooy is clear. He goes into third and becomes an immediate qualifier. So 4 of our 5 clears are confirmed to come back. Devon Ryan will be qualified the next time somebody has a pole. Well, this time last year, we were just talking about this young man picking up his first couple of international wins. One was at the Pennsylvania National 12 months and 1 week ago. His second international win was here at the Washington show last year. He was reserve Maclay champion last year. He won the USEF Hunter Seat Medal Championships at the Pennsylvania National, and he finished off the winter season with a win in the World Cup at Live Oak, Ocala, Florida. Top 10 in a 5-star Grand Prix at Spruce Meadows this summer, 3rd in the Saugerties 5-star Grand Prix in September. Brian Maugré and MTM Vive le Rêve. Brian was part of the US team that won the FEI Nations Cup finals for young riders at Centaur in Belgium this summer. She just in the recent weeks came back from there to jump with us in Columbus with Vive le Rêve, where he was top 10. He's also top 10 in Gold Cup. Brian is currently second on our standings, but has the water tray at the top of the ring down. So that means that Devon Ryan, his clear, is now qualified to come back. One falters. Margie Goldstein-Engel, Katie Dine and Kat Tyree, they start to look for their qualification spot. 4 for jumping, 1 for time for Brian Maugré and MTM Vive le Rêve. And 14th as things currently stand. And remember, 16 come back for the winning round. 16 athletes, that'll be 1 and 2. And they will start in that second round, the winning round of jumping on 0. That jumping will start at 5 minutes past 7 this evening. In the interim, we have about 10 more to jump here. Andy Coker and Squirt Gun, they were podium finishers in his speed class on day 1 of the World Cup show in Columbus, Ohio, Split Rock Jumping Tour. Andy, Nations Cup Finals rider 12 months ago for the USA, and a 5-star Grand Prix winner this summer in Canada. World Cup finalist a couple of years ago in Paris. Not too many have had that. He just really hunted at the fence from deep in the corner. All the elbows out. And that gives Margie Goldstein-Engel her place in the winning round confirmed. So 4 for jumping, 1 for time there for Andy Coker. It's a little bit faster than Brian Maugré. Brian Goutel-Marteau faster yet in 13th, and he slots into 14th position as things currently stand here in the $50,000 welcome stakes. Well, Credence now and Ken Farrington. Kent, the world number 8. Had two very good results with this horse recently on Governor's Island, New York, in the Longines Global Champions Tour show. 2 wins. Kent was the winner of the Aachen Grand Prix this summer, and actually one of several very, very top riders in the sport to have been a winner of the Washington Equitation Finals. And the Washington Equitation Finals are a big feature here on Saturday. It is part of the build-up to the President's Cup, the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup, Washington. First fence down, unfortunately, though, for Kent, so that means that Katie Dynan will capitalise as a result of that, and Dougie Douglas will be back as a confirmed qualifier. So Katie Dynan, Margie Golson-Engel, Devon Ryan, Lacey Gilbertson, Jos Valoy, Amanda Derbyshire and Alex Granato, all currently confirmed as coming back for the winning round, where they will start on 0. Looking to be quite a fast 4-faulter. It's not to be. 8 for jumping, 1 for time for Kent Farrington, and Credence 9 in 68.04 goes 17th. So at the other end of the scale, by ranking 17th already, Kent knows for sure he is not coming back. Well, it's Peter Lutz, Bert Manley, Jordan Coyle, Harden Towell, all behind him as well. So Shane Sweetnam is the one most in danger. 8 faults in 66.11. He holds the current final qualifying spot. Aaron Vale is next with Don Stewart and Sleepy P Ranch's Major. Aaron, both a Grand Prix, a President's Cup and a Puissance winner here at Washington. Several good Grand Prix results at Tryon this summer, and a top 10 in that 5-star Grand Prix at Saugerties in September. At this stage, a clear goes straight into qualification. Even a time fault is not yet confirmed to go through. The best two are Margie and Katie Dynan. The Cat Tyree waits to find out whether her 1 fault will be good enough to come back. Yeah, that pole, I thought the first vertical had gone. So Aaron Vale's pole gives a starting place in the winning round to Cat Tyree. So half of our winning round starting field is now confirmed. We have 8 of our 16. It's going to be tough for it not to be Derek Henny. I can't see anyone really having a chance of going faster than that, because he was so incredibly smooth with that horse around this Olaf Pedersen Jr. track. Now is Aaron just going to take a little reset here before the last? Yeah, so 2 down, 4 faults for the circle. Not going to present at this last fence at all, I think. So Aaron electing to retire. And remember, once we were saying about Shane Sweetnam, 8 faults. Shane is actually the only 8 faulter in 66.11. If you have 8 faults, you've got to already feel like your night is over. Two rounds of jumping this evening as part of our evening performance from Washington. Not just the winning round of this class with the first horse in the ring at 5 minutes past 7, but we also have our costume class this evening, the $36,000 costume accumulated class, a metre 45 single round of jumping, and that will be at 9 o'clock. Captain Brian Cannan with his own and his parents-in-law Bob and Christine Stiller's Armic. Brian and Armick were top 5 finishers in the 5-star Grand Prix at Tryon just a couple of weeks ago. Top 10 in the Toronto World Cup qualifier last winter as well for Brian, but unfortunately has the first part of the triple combination down. And that gives a place to Dara Kenny. Our calculations, Dara Kenny would qualify now on 9th to be sure of going through. And that is absolutely confirmed with Brian Canan's second pole, because of course Dara Kenny would only go through if Brian had been on 4 faults and slower than 62.92. But 62.92 really is going to take some beating. Another one just caught out by the time. 8 for jumping, 1 for time, a 9-fault round, and it's straight outside the qualification zone into 18th position for Irish Nations Cup rider captain Brian Canan and Armick.
So 63 seconds over is 8-4 Shane Sweetum, and they later into round 2. That's all better to 69 as class.
So Shane Sweetum still sits there in 16th position. Georgina Bloomberg with Quibel, who also gave her a top 10 in the Gold Cup this year, contributing to her 14 points on the league. Georgina, a 2-time World Cup finalist, most recently this spring, and she has really once again over the winter targeted the World Cup and the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup finals. She had with Quibel and Chamur 2 top 5 finishes on the final day in the speed and the jump-off classes of the Longines Global Champions Tour of New York. She's a career winner of the Central Park Horse Show Grand Prix in New York as well. Class winner here with us at Washington 12 months ago. Claire will propel her straight in to the winning round. Real heavy knock off the front rail of the Oxer, but it stays in place. Rode really nice, calm, steady lines through that bow line. You saw how much she closed Quibel down going into the sustainability Oxer in the middle. Unfortunately, that white fence goes only for the 2nd or 3rd time in the whole class. And this is to the benefit potentially of Adrian Sternlicht. She's our next potential qualifier, 4 faults in 63.46. It's all going to depend on the clock. If Georgina can come home on the total of 4. If she's on a total of 4, she for sure costs Shane Sweetum his place in the winning round. She's going to be into time though. 4 for jumping and a 1 for time for Georgina Bloomberg, and Quibel goes into, in fact, the 16th position, pushes Shane Sweetum down a single place. And Adrian Sternlicht now is qualified. She is the 10th best of our qualifiers. Cassia Ravetti on 4, Laura Kraut on 4, could make it through yet. A literal half a dozen to go, as Natalie Dean goes next with Dons Diamant. Natalie, who is an individual bronze medalist at this year's Young Riders at Old Salem Farm, alongside Brian Mowgray. She was on the winning US team at the Youth Nations Cup finals in Belgium a couple of weeks ago. We've seen Natalie as well taking top 10 in the Grand Prix at the 2-star level at both the Longines New York Masters and the Longines Global Champions Tour of Miami Beach here in 2019. Very solid round so far from one of our younger riders in the field, Natalie, who rode 5-star this summer at Spruce Meadows. Clear through the Longines double. Final lines to go for Natalie and Dons Diamant. Back rail off the Lugano, we've seen that go several times in the class. It's not going to be a slow 4 though. The back rail off the last as well for a total of 8 means that Natalie Dean goes straight away outside the qualification zone. 8 in 65.56 goes into 17th spot.
Please on to your right, Kristen Van der Veen now. And Kristen, who's third at Grand Prix just last week in Charlotte, North Carolina, in 5-star now, previous winner of that class. Kristen with the
So that means that Cassio Rivetti will take the 11th position in the starting draw. Well, next to go, Kristen Van der Veen with Bull Run jumpers. Bull Run's risen. Kristen and Bull Run's risen were on the podium in the 5-star Grand Prix at Tryon in recent weeks. Kristen is another winner in our field, a career winner of the Live Oak World Cup qualifier. Saw Kristen a lot in Europe this summer at the 5-star Grand Prix at Lausanne, on the Masters Tour, and also the Longines Ascona Horse Show in Switzerland. Kristen and Bull Run's risen, having a pole on the side of the ring early on. 8 faults now puts them straight out. Laura Kraut will come back for the winning round as a result of that second pole. Alex Granato, Amanda Derbyshire, Jos Valoy, Lacey Gilbertson, Devon Ryan, Margie Goldstein-Engel, Katie Dynan, Kat Tyree, Dara Kenny, Adrian Sternlicht, Cassio Rivetti and Laura Kraut are the 12 currently confirmed to come back for the winning round. Five of those 12 jumped 0 scores around the track, but they all come back and start on 0 in the winning round. Kristen Van der Veen, 8 for jumping and 1 for time as well. 70.11 on the clock, 68 seconds time allowed. It's not unachievable, but it's what tactic you come in tonight with your horse. It's the first round of jumping for a lot of these. Some didn't school last night. It's the first competition of the week. It's a meter 50 class. They have to decide what their end state is. They want to make sure that they get in good order to the World Cup on Saturday night, that Longines FEI Jumping World Cup class. And for some, therefore, they're not in this to win it. They won't necessarily be trying to take on a 68 seconds time allowed. But with $50,000 on the line, Olaf Pedersen and the officials, the grand jury's job was to ensure that that time was competitive, and to be inside it means you are being competitive, and you deserve to therefore go on and have a good crack at winning the lion's share of that prize fund. Aaron Ballard, Aaron and Kotoki's son Z. Remember, as things currently stand, a clear goes straight into the winning round. High up over that fish fence, vertical on the long side of the ring. Reaches a little bit for the back bar of the Oxer going through the triple, and then Aaron is there to just keep encouraging the horse forward out and over the final vertical. Aaron was top 10 in the Grand Prix at last week's Pennsylvania National. Canadian World Games and Pan American Games rider in the last 2 seasons. One of a number of Canadians, including last year's winner Sam Walker, to have taken the Maclay title at the National Horse Show. easily done. 67-40, Aaron Ballard straight through into the winning round. So that confirms 13 of our 16 places on the starting order.
Takes the 6 off on 3, Skylar Riley, one of those. This is the E2 show record section limbo. That's a goal by Kina Domovel for this combination. I mean, they're well placed this season, including the ceremonies and third.
Well, a rider we've seen pick up points at Gold Cup, also jumped at Columbus in Ohio in recent weeks. Skylar Riley. Skylar with Key Limbo by Kidam de Revel. Skylar was, again, well placed in that 5-star Grand Prix at Saugerties. Top 10 at Devon this year and a podium finisher in the Grand Prix at Upperville. Skylar also had a great tour through the 6 or so weeks of Great Lakes with a top 10 in the Grand Prix every week of that tour in Michigan. Two rails on the ground though, is straight away going to give away her chance of qualifying here, and it gives it to Brianne Goutal on Brianne's total of 5. Just outside the time as well, 12 for jumping, 1 for time there for Skylar Riley and Key Limbo. So Andy Coker, Brian Mowgray are both there on 5 faults there. Our next two who could potentially qualify, Savannah Jenkins and Andrew Wells, yet to jump to try and take the spots away from them. Well, Savannah Jenkins now, top 10 in a 4-star Grand Prix at Tryon this year. Savannah also jumped World Cup at Del Mar this season. That's Kitana 11, 13-year-old mare by Quick Star. Just feels their way over the second fence there a little bit. You could just hear it in the ring. Landed very shallow, very steep over the back bar in the middle of the triple combination. It stays, but the water tray vertical does not, so that's 4 faults. At the moment, of 4 faults would qualify. So if Savannah can hold it to that score and inside the time, she'll take a place at the expense of Brian Mowgray. And that's what it's going to be. Very, very pacey round. Just the 4 faults, and that is good enough to come back. So 15 of our qualifiers have set. Will it be Andy Coker or will it be Andrew Wells who comes back to us as the 16th? Jumping starts again with the first horse in the ring at 7 for the 16-strong winning round, where 16 athletes from this $50,000 welcome stakes will come back, and they will start from 0. Andrew Wells and Primo Troy. This has really been Andrew's World Cup campaigning horse this year. Top 10 at T-Bird. We saw them jump World Cup also at Gold Cup in New York and Columbus, Ohio. Andrew's a podium finisher. 2-star Grand Prix at Miami this year in the Longines Global Champions Tour. He was 6th in the 5-star Nations Cup Grand Prix at the Palm Beach Masters as well at Deer Ridge, Wellington, Florida. Six out of 31 have jumped clear around this Olaf Pedersen Jr. track so far. Alex Granado, Amanda Derbyshire, Jos Valoy, Erin Ballard, Lacey Gilbertson and Devon Ryan. Andrew Wells is not going to join them. Very, very close to just coming out over the front there, and again over the Lugano Diamonds. He bypasses the Chinatown gate fence, so he's on a total of 12, and it means that Andy Coker is qualified. As number 16. To see exactly what Andrew does to put a ribbon on this horse's jumping for the evening. Jumps the Chinatown gate, turns up to the last. Why wouldn't you at this stage? What a shame. It was a really, really nice round of jumping. Just turned to that final line and it all went wrong for Andrew Wells and Primo Troy. Total of 23, 29th position on the rankings for Andrew. And we know the 16 who will come back to us when we get into the evening session of jumping here at the Capital One Arena from the 61st Washington International Horse Show presented by Mars Equestrian. 5 minutes past 7. We'll see the first in the ring of the 16 who qualified, and those 16 will include all of our clears: Alex Granato, Amanda Derbyshire, Jos Valoy, Erin Ballard, Lacey Gilbertson and Devon Ryan with Cooper. They are our 6 clears. Alex Granato and Carl Chen, his 2-time World Cup winner, with the fastest of them. 1 falters, Margie Goldstein-Engel, Katie Dine and Kat Tyree all coming back to us. A super fast 4 fault from Dara Kenny and Classic Dream, and the merest rub at the back of the Lugano Diamonds as well to give them the 4 faults. Adrian Sternlicht and Tulago on 4, Cassio Rivetti. They're going to come back on 0, but they're ranked here on the basis of their first round performance. Laura Kraut, Savannah Jenkins, Brianne Goutal-Marteau, Andy Coker and Squirt Gun, his podium finisher from the speed class on day 1 of Columbus, Ohio, comes back. Brian Mowbray and Georgina Bloomberg also on 5 faults, but excluded from the winning round of jumping based on time. Faults and time, the deciding factor to give us our 16 starters. Further results down the order based solely on the first round, and we will look forward to talking to you when we have those 16 back to jump with us in a short while. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for the evening performance from the Washington International Horse Show at 7 o'clock. Talk to you then.
Well, folks, you can stop by at section 106. Our sponsor Snickers has trick-or-treating bags, and they're still available. And you can trick-or-treat around the main concourse, courtesy of Snickers. Check what?
Smoking is prohibited on the concourse, in the ticket lobbies, and in all seating areas. However, guests are permitted to go outside to smoke at the main Capital One Arena entrance located at F Street. Thank you. We'd like to remind you that if you are under 21, it is unlawful to hold or drink alcoholic beverages. If you are over 21, it is unlawful to aid in obtaining any alcohol for a minor. To provide a safe and pleasant environment, alcoholic beverages are limited to 2 per person. Please note the exit nearest your seat. In case of emergency, walk, do not run to that exit. For your convenience, Capital One Arena has a first aid room located on the main concourse across from Section 110.
There's still tickets available to join us tonight in the new Stella Lounge VIP Club for our annual Buck Breast Cancer Benefit, which is on the concourse level. Oasis Food and Beverage there are available. Come and celebrate the lives of survivors, friends, and family to benefit Georgetown University's Capital Breast Care Center. Let's buck breast cancer together. Stella is open tonight, Friday and Saturday evenings. Friday night, the Armed Forces reception presented by Amerisource Bergen and the MWI Animal Health, which benefits the Tragedy Assistance Program. And Saturday night's President's Cup Party, which benefits the USET Foundation. Each ticket includes access to the Stella Lounge VIP food and beverage and your choice of reserved or open seat, arena seat in the VIP section across from the concourse in the club. We hope to see you there for the Buck Breast Cancer Party, and that is tonight. Tickets are still available.
Hi, I'm Adam Cromarty, and I've come up to the concourse here at the Washington International Horse Show, and you should as well, because you will find our silent auction. There's tons of things to have a look at and bid on, of course, and one item I've picked is this one. It's from the Prisco Jewelers in Chicago. It's made up of neoprene, sterling silver, and these gorgeous white sapphires. But if that's not for you, then let's have a look at some of the other items. There's tons of stuff for horse and rider. A range of tickets including sporting and music events, a lesson with Olympian McLean Ward, Lugano Diamonds, and 2 round-trip business class tickets to Europe from our friends at Delta. As a separate auction, you can also bid on this incredibly cute, easy-to-park pony, with all funds going to the Kevin Babington Foundation. And remember, we're raising money for some great causes as well. So once you've decided what you want to bid on, get your phone out. It couldn't be simpler. Just text WIHS to 52182. And while you're up there, stop past the Washington International Souvenir Booth. There's stuff for all the family. And don't forget, we've got autograph signings throughout the week here. So why don't you get one of the riders to sign your souvenir?
This week's Athlete in Focus is Brian Mowbray. The 18-year-old burst onto the scene when he won his World Cup debut last season in Ocala. And this year, he's got his eyes set firmly on making it to the finals in Vegas.
I don't come from a horse family. There was actually a stable down the road from where I first lived, and started getting pony ride lessons. And when I actually turned 5, I started to really learn to ride, and it's always been the jumping for me, and you know, I see myself staying with it for as long as I can think of. To this day, I can't really see myself doing anything different. The way I feel about horses is unlike any feeling I have towards any person or other animal. It's really about the partnership and, as people say, like the bond you share with the horse, but I really do think that is important because you and the horse are a team. Winning the World Cup qualifier at Live Oak, that was a spectacular win for me. And this year being my first year, I can do any 3-star, 4-star, 5-star Grand Prix due to my age. It was great early in the year to, you know, make that my first FEI Grand Prix win. I ride with Mike McCormick and Tracy Fenney out of MTM Farm. They have been helping me for about 6 years now, supplied me with the best horses and the best coaching, taken me all over the country, and really I would say they've brought me from the junior jumpers up to now the 5-star Grand Prix level, so I'm very appreciative for them. And Leslie Lehman, who works for me and helps me with my horses. She keeps the horses looking their best. If they feel good, then they're going to want to be good. The horse I'm going to ride, his name is MTM Viva La Rev. I've had him for about 3.5 years maybe. He's 10 and he is my best friend. I love that horse. He has really brought me up through all the levels. You know, he's never done it before and I haven't either, so every time we move up, we're moving up together and it's a great feeling to have him to be there for me. I have a mare that I've had for about 6 years or so. Her name's MTM Flutterby. She is a horse I can always rely on. She's small, she's quick, great for the ranking classes. The other horse I have here, MTM Los Angeles, I've had him for a year now, a little over a year. He's 7 years old and he's a big, scopy jumper who, you know, him and I are just now getting to learn each other and you know, day by day, he's improving and growing up, and I think I am as well, so I'm super excited for the future with that horse. People who I've looked up to for so many years, and to now be in the same playing field as them, you know, all I can do is really show them what I got. As much as I look up to them, I want to be victorious just as much as they do.
Load up, look out, inspire, admire, take cover, outdoor lover, get lost in the moment. Look once, look twice. The new Discovery Sport. Whatever the endeavor, never stop discovering. Land Rover, above and beyond.
The concept is simple. In pursuit of one of equestrian's most coveted prizes, all roads lead to Las Vegas, to the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Final. But nothing in this sport is easy, and this is a prize that isn't awarded. It has to be earned. By competing for crucial points against the sport's very best across North America to seize the opportunity to jump for the Cup in Vegas next spring. In the end, only one rider will be enshrined amongst the greats of the sport who have done what it takes to capture the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would love to have a nice thank you to our diamond sponsors here at the Washington International: Discovery, Longines, and Mars Equestrian. We thank them for their support, making it possible to handle this amazing competition here in the nation's capital.
And also our platinum sponsors there. You can see just a few of the names involved. Lifting it up high with Delta Airlines, Scotsman Family, Huntland Land Rover, driving us further forward every year alongside the Lindsay Maxwell Charitable Funds.
Number of great sponsors that are at our gold level, and you see them scrolling above you as we again like to salute them for helping make this great event possible. And we want to remind you to don't miss the autograph signing after the show. It's presented by Platinum Performance. Some of your favorite riders will be there. Signing table will be located near sections 118 and 119 across from the Dunkin' Donuts on the concourse. Also stop by the souvenir stand beforehand to purchase your item to be autographed.
Welcome to the Washington International Horse Show, presented by Mars Equestrian. Tonight, it is Barn Night, presented by the Aquarium, Charles Owen, United Natural Golf Partner, Close Horse, Barn Manager, Springtime, and U.S. Equestrian. We hope you brought your barn tonight, your barn spirit as well, as we get ready for an exciting evening. We'll begin the night with a $50,000 International Jumper Welcome Stake. It's the jump-off round that will kick off our evening performance. Then the halftime lineup, your favorite Super Duke Washington International Shetland Pony Steeplechase Championship Series presented by Charles Owen. And of course, Barn Night contest and prizes. And we'll wind up the night with the Washington favorite, the costume class, our international jumpers, and the accumulator competition, the speed class you won't want to miss. Not only can you check out your favorite riders and their hilarious costumes, but you can take advantage of some great opportunities to help us fight breast cancer with our Clear for the Cure pink ribbon events. Finally, don't forget to stay after the show for an autograph signing on the concourse with some of your favorite riders presented by Platinum Performance. Thank you again to the Emperor, Charles Owens, United Natural Golf Partner, the Close Horse, Barn Manager, Springtime, U.S. Equestrian, for helping make Barn Night's Halloween and horseback a real treat. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a nice welcome here to our color guard as they join us this evening as we get on with our opening ceremonies. As they join us here, representing the Maryland National Capital Park Police, Officer Megan Lau. From the Montgomery County Division, Officer T.C. Morton from the U.S. Park Police, Officer David Miller from the Metropolitan Police Department, Officer Jason Miller from the Maryland National Capital Park Police, Prince George's County Division, Officer Ken Jabell from the United States Park Police, Officer Wes Leinhardt from Maryland National Capital Park Police, Montgomery County Division, presenting our colors here with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we introduce you to Paloma Isabel O'Leary, a native of Washington, D.C., our featured vocalist. Paloma O'Leary, a 13-year-old, 8th grader at Hogarth School. She's been a member of the Children's Chorus of Washington since the age of 7. Has performed in numerous concerts in Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland, and Boston, as well as being selected to be a 2017 American Choral Directors Children's Honor Choir. Paloma has
Hello, good evening and welcome back to the Washington International Horse Show. We are just a few moments away from the singing of the national anthem as part of the opening ceremonies for tonight's $50,000 welcome stakes, the winning round, coming up here tonight from the nation's capital.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Paloma.
So the scene very much set here in Washington for the 16 who are qualified, 15 who will come back to jump the winning round. And in the winning round, it is starting from zero. And thanks to the members of the various public order and police organizations providing aspects of the color party tonight here as well at the Washington International Horse Show, the 61st Washington International Horse Show, supported this year by Mars Equestrian. It's Longines FEI Jumping World Cup week here in the nation's capital as well. That's our feature class on Saturday. Tonight, this is our big class, $50,000 on offer, but we do also have the costume accumulator class, a little bit of fun dressing, quite literally, on top of what is otherwise a meter-45 pipe opener for the speed horses really this week. It's a single round of jumping against the clock, an accumulator track, and we have the speed final then tomorrow in the build-up to the Puissance evening. Land Rover, Puissance Land Rover returning as sponsors of the Puissance once again. So John Franzrab there standing by to sound the call at the beginning of the class. 15 coming back to us are going to be starting with Andy Coker. They come back in the order of quality of qualification, but they are all starting on zero. Andy Coker, Savannah Jenkins, Laura Cripe, Cassia Ravetti, Adrian Sterling, Dara Kenny. Dara was our fastest fourth-halter by quite some margin earlier on. Kat Tyree, Katie Dynan, Margie Goldston-Engel, they were all on a single time fourth. Devon Ryan, Lacey Gilbertson, Erin Ballard, Jos Verlooy, Amanda Derbyshire, and two-time World Cup winner Alex Granato. Alex, with the best of the clears in the first round, earns himself the right to go last, knowing exactly what he has to do in this winning round, starting from zero. Andy Coker is going to be our first. Andy was a top 3 finisher with this horse Squirt Gun in a speed class at the World Cup show in Columbus, Ohio in recent weeks. Andy, a 5-star Grand Prix winner this summer, Nations Cup Finals rider for the United States of America as well. So he'll be the first to prove the track here in the winning round. That's their last fence there that he just goes by, the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup. He's just having a little bit of a look at this inside turn that might be on. Andy is certainly going to prove any quick route there might be out there. Gets inside. He wasn't super smooth because, again, it's a real balancing act between coming back, having to get your horse right back in its hocks around a tight inside turn like that, or carrying on smooth and fast on the outside. So it'll be interesting to see how many people follow Andy there. He has a pole, so he puts himself at a disadvantage regardless of speed. Jumps the vertical at number 8, heads up the arena now to the last on course. It's 4 faults in 43.52 for Andy Coker. See him here through the double laid on the course. But is that inside turn from 3 to 4? But is what might set Andy apart in terms of time. We saw his rail go as well at the white fence on the long diagonal of the arena. It's very, very difficult course to design this this particular arena here, the Capital One Arena. Multi-sports, basketball, ice hockey, but it means that for our sport it's very, very narrow and very long. Its ratio is quite difficult to work with for the designers. We've had the very best designers here over recent years and they've made a great job of it, but it really does take a top designer like Alan Wade or Olaf Pedersen Jr. to give us top class jumping here. Savannah Jenkins on course. Savannah, top 10 in a 4-star Grand Prix at Tryon this year. She rides Kitana 11. It's the Lindsay Maxwell fence. Good positive ride here back. B&D Builders. 43.52 is the time to beat at the moment. Goes out a little bit wider there than Andy Coker did. 2 to go. 43.52 is the leading time, but the leading score is 4 faults, so Savannah can put herself comfortably out in front here. And not a super amount slower, 46.16, and all importantly, it is a 0 score for Savannah Jenkins and Kitana 11. That goes into the lead at the moment, and it's the one they have to beat in this $50,000 welcome stakes. Follows Andy around. They're all going to have to really do that now. Next to go with St Bride's Farms Florette, it's Laura Kraut. So this were a combination that won a 4-star Grand Prix in France in recent weeks. US Olympian Laura, ranked inside the world's top 50. Has been a medalist at Pan Am's, Worlds and Olympic level. 8 times a World Cup finalist as well. Recently returned from representing the United States of America at the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup Finals, the team jumping championships in Barcelona, Spain. St Bride's Farm, based here not far from the capital at all, in Virginia. Very, very good. Just really using that green as the new blue, or blue as the new green, sorry, as a rail, just so tight around it. Laura's won plenty of Grand Prix and jump-offs against the clock. This is all to play for here as she comes towards home. 46.16 to beat. Is she going to be sub 40 seconds? Just over. 42.25. Not only is it clear and faster than Savannah, it's faster than Andy Coker. So the next to take on Laura Kraut's leading score in time, clear in 42.25. Indeed, the first to have to take it on is going to be Cassio Rivetti. Cassio now based on the west coast of the United States of America. Back riding for Brazil the last few years as well. The two-time Olympian. Already has a couple of good World Cup results under his belt this season. Can he get Washington off to a winning start here on day one of the show? Again, he just gets a little bit caught up there, turning around inside that fence, and he ends up booting away the rail. So he's on the 4 faults. A fast 4 faulter of 43.52 is already safely home for Andy Coker. Cassio just thinking about the rest of the week ahead with this horse as well. Slightly thinking about slotting into an also-ran spot tonight. Bakara Dash and Foss, Cassio Rivetti. Going to be 4 faults at the time, 46.37.
They'll slip into the 4th position in the standings as Cassio representing Brazil tonight, 16 in 4th place. We watch now. It's a nice welcome. She was a member of the World Equestrian Games gold medal USD last year.
We have 3 members of the gold medal winning team from the World Equestrian Games last year for the United States of America, and all 3 of them have qualified for the winning round tonight. Adrian Sternlicht, Adrian with Tulago, a horse that's actually been jumping really well for her in recent international appearances. The Longines Cup at the Hamptons, she was a podium finisher in that, podium finisher in one of the good jump-off classes on the way to the World Cup in Old Salem this year too. Adrian off to a flying start here. Double class winner at the Longines New York Masters in Long Island this year. Doesn't make that turn look tight or difficult at all. Oh! That unfortunately was happening from 2 or 3 strides away. Tulago just not absolutely understanding the question, and Adrian wasn't just able to get in there with the support and the explanation from her hands and seat quickly enough to give the horse the confidence to take on that jump. So Laura Kraut will remain our leader for another turn of the handle. Over the Washington fence, coming up to the Longines FEI jumping fence, into time now as well. 8 for jumping, 3 for time in 62.30 for Adrian Sternlicht and Tulago. So 5th place at the moment. We've seen 5 of what will be 15. 16 were qualified to come back. Brianne Goutel-Marteau electing not to run in the winning round, so she will take 16th. She earned her right to be in the winning round, so she can't be replaced by anyone else. So it means we see just 15. Well, in the first round, this man rode an almost foot-perfect round. He just took the back rail off the Lugano Diamonds fence for 4 faults, but he was so much faster than everyone else. So by far and away the fastest 4 faulter. Darragh Kenny Recently moved up into the world's top 10 with Classic Dream. Has he got that turn of pace again? And again, in the first round, it didn't look like a turn of pace. It just is so incredibly smooth and always forward. Again, look how neat he is there. He's left of centre. He's landing and turning. Indeed, he's turning before he's landing. Such is this horse's ability and quickness. 42.25 to beat. Last line to go. He knifes across that. Saves himself half a stride on the approach up to the Longines fence. It's going to be very close, but he is out in front. 42.16. Ireland's Dara Kenny makes the most of the fact that they come back and start from zero. He was on 4. Laura Kraut was on penalties as well. If memory serves, it was 5 for Laura. But they're both making the most of the class format. Dara Kenny's out in front. 0 in the winning round in a time of 42.16. He was the fastest jumper in the first round, and he is now the one to beat. Cat Tyree goes next with Enjoy Louis. The next 3 to go all had a single time fault, but that is not indicative of how these horses normally go. Cat Tyree, Katie Dinan, Margie Goldstein Engel are the 3 in question, usually all demons against the clock. Again, maybe playing the odds, maybe playing the format of the class, knowing they come back on 0. Cat was the winner on day 1 of the show 12 months ago. On this class with Bokai in 2018. Knows what she has to do. Has she got just the legs? I mean, Enjoy Louis just that little bit more experience than Classic Dream. Can they make that experience count? I would say that they're a little bit down on Dara Kenny at the moment. And the Irishman probably still going to be in front. Cat Tyree is clear. 43.63. We'll put that into 3rd on our rankings behind Laura Kraut and, of course, leader for Ireland, Dara Kenny with Classic Dream. 42.16 is the time to beat here in the Washington $50,000 Welcome Stakes.
This time the shape of Catherine Kate Diamond. KCRE, Robert Thomas, Dougie Douglas, this fabulous 14-year-old horse, the rider who's 4 times competing at the World Cup Finals, wins this season from Switzerland and team finishing top 3 in the recent World Cup. US rider Katie Diamond, Alicia Well, Dougie Douglas.
Well, now Katie Dinan. Katie, a 4-time World Cup finalist, was the runner-up here 12 months ago in the World Cup qualifier at the Washington International Horse Show. She rides Dougie Douglas, a very, very experienced horse. And the Grant Road partners. Can she take on 42.16 set by the relatively inexperienced Classic Dream and Dara Kenny in comparison to a horse like Dougie Douglas, for sure. Dougie to concentrate a little bit more. She lost a little bit of impulse around that bend. He was just not concentrating on her necessity to carry on going right. He expected to flick over to the left halfway through the turn. Paddled a little bit over that oxer. Picks her back up. Hard rub there as she looks towards home. I mean, the time is well gone. It's even more than a hard rub. We see the 4 faults come in now from Longines timing. Four faults in 48.10 for Katie Dinan. So we've seen just over half of our contenders. We've had 4 jump clear in the winning round. Dara Kenny the fastest of them, 42.16. Laura Kraut is 2nd, Cat Tyree 3rd. Savannah Jenkins is in 4th as things currently stand.
Let's give a Washington welcome to the Maybury Partners to USA's Margie Goldstein Engel.
This is a fast horse, this is a fast rider, this is a fast combination, and they've proven it time and time and time again. Great results and a lot of speed classes with us in Europe this year on the Global Champions. Margie also has jumped this horse Decas in both the Gold Cup and to a second place finish in the World Cup qualifier at Columbus, Ohio in recent weeks. Decas can do it all. Can he take the winning round? Big old horse to wagon around that tight turn. Has that lost it for her there? Again, he lands a little bit wrong-footed, lands on the right lead, drifting over towards the jury box when Classic Dream and Dara were so neat over to the left. They pull a rail anyway, so that means that the top four stay safe with their clear rounds. Just gets in really close to that vertical as well, takes it with them. So unfortunately it's going to be 8 faults in 46 seconds, 8 in 46.03 for Margie Goldstein-Engel and Decas, 8th position.
We come down the order with 6 left to go. We mentioned already the World Championship team winners in trial last year. 5 gold winning selection was this man, Devon Ryan, the 20-year-old previous race, and he was also second.
Another world gold medalist, Devon Ryan, career winner of the American Gold Cup, career podium finisher at the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup finals as well. Devon with Cooper. And this is potentially a real threat because he rides this horse in a bitless bridle, so really he just has control over direction through a little bit of pressure across the bridge of the horse's nose. And yet Cooper is a very fast, very adjustable horse. If you can just get him onto some of those inside lines, and that's where sometimes the hackamore, the bitless bridle, counts against you because you can't just get that control. Well, the first goes down anyway, so it's all slightly academic. Fast 4 faults, faster than Andy Coker in 43.52, would go top 5 as things currently stand. We're coming on towards home. The leading time of 42.16 for Dara Kenny was well beyond his grasp. 44.74 and 2 down in total. So Devon and Cooper will go down into 8th position, pushing Margie down a further place. Katie Dinan, Cassia Ravelli, Andy Coker on 4. And clears for Savannah Jenkins in 4th, Kat Tyree in 3rd, Laura Crichton in 2nd, and Dara Kenny leading for Ireland in 42.16 with Classic Dream.
She certainly wants that from you as well tonight, because she could certainly wear this up. Receiving LC's from Lobby. Let's bring it right home for them. USA's Lacey Overson.
Well, now a rider we saw a little bit in Europe this summer at the likes of Noka and Chantilly. It's Lacey Gilbertson, Lacey with Balopi. 3 times a National Under-25 Championship finalist, a Grand Prix winner at Tryon, North Carolina this summer, and a very good winter equestrian festival down in Wellington, Florida this spring as well. So 42.16 to beat. He wants this, just pushing a little bit out of that turn. Need to be jumping the second last at earlier than now, 31.32 at the very latest. So coming on towards home, top 5 will be on the cards with a clear, and clear it is, clear in 43.83, and that goes into 4th position. So 5 clears. Savannah Jenkins drops down a single place. Lacey Gilbertson in 4th. Kat Tyree 3rd. Laura Kraut 2nd. Dara Kenny still leading. Many times a World Cup podium finisher. Championship rider for Canada over the last few championship cycles, World Games and Pan American Games. Erin Ballard. Erin with Katoki's son, Z. Gets a good wind up before the first. Flies around here to the Mars equestrian fence. They get a nice shift to the right, just helping them over that fence, and helps everything drop in the right sequence as well in terms of leading leg in the canter and the horse's concentration and approach. Just got caught up short in that corner, ended up taking the front rail off the oxer, so Erin Ballard will be outside the top 5. We've got 5 clears to lead the way. Not a bad time, 34 seconds as she jumps that fence. Very, very positive ride home. Look at this time, 41.12. A time that would have done it, an unlucky rail for Erin Ballard. But it means now, with 3 to go, Dara Kenny and Classic Dream look under threat for the first time. Erin Ballard has proven to Jos Verlooy, Amanda Derbyshire and Alex Granate that Dara is beatable. A returning rider to Washington, was with us a couple of years ago. This year he comes fresh off the back of an individual bronze and a team gold at the European Championships for Belgium. Jos Verlooy, Jos with Varal. Jos has had some good runs in World Cup action as well over the years, including a top 5 finish at the finals in Las Vegas a few years ago. Just getting a little bit upside down over that one. Jos keeps the horse coming though. 42.16 to beat, and we know now that that is possible. Looks for his next, has to keep really moving this horse on. It was a little bit the same in the first round. He's getting the job done. He is in touch, it's possible from here. Sees a great one, just leaves out a stride going in there. Now he has to sit up. 42.16. Yes, 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 41.62. Into the lead for Jos Verlooy. Jos wants to make the most of this trip for the next few weeks over here. He rode 5-star and Tryon last weekend. Now he's got 3 World Cup shows in a row. Washington, Lexington, Kentucky for the National Horse Show, and then the Royal Winter Fair in Toronto, Ontario.
Great Britain now, our lady was also members of the European Championships in Rotterdam and Netherlands in Europe this year.
Belgium and Ireland out in front. We have Britain and the United States to go. Amanda Derbyshire for Great Britain with Cornwall BH.
Cornwall BH, Great Britain, Amanda Derbyshire.
Amanda was also at those Rotterdam European Championships this year, part of the British team that won bronze and Olympic qualification. Based here in the US with the Gotchman family's Baxter Hill operation. Had a very good result 12 months ago in the Winter Fair in Toronto. She's certainly having a bit of a... she's gone wrong.
Well, that wasn't the way she wanted to do it, but unfortunately trying to make that turn a little tight.
Cornwall BH just so genuine. Locked onto that fence at number 5 and took it on for her. He doesn't think he's done anything wrong, unfortunately, but it is elimination for an error, of course, for Amanda Derbyshire. So we either have a Belgian or a US winner of the first class of the week here at the Washington International Horse Show, presented by Mars Equestrian. Jos Verlooy and Varane are out in front, and it's two-time World Cup winner Alex Granato and Carl Chen who could take it back for the USA. US Pan American Games medalist Alex Granato, our last rider in this class. Don't forget though, this is far from our last class of the day. We have our meter 45 costume accumulated class coming up at 9 o'clock this evening. .41.62 to beat. Erin Ballard did go faster than that with Kotoki Sun with her full fault round in 41.12. Such a good horse. I mean, he's proven it in recent memory, taking the jump-off win at the Palm Beach Masters World Cup qualified just a couple of weeks ago, taking the win at the Split Rock Jumping Tour World Cup qualifier in Columbus, Ohio. It's very close. He gets a good turn here. 34 seconds is maybe a little bit off. Really climbs all over that pole as well. 41.62 to beat. It's going to be close. He's going to be just behind. 41.75. Alex Granato will finish in second. Jos Verlooy will take the victory tonight for Belgium, and we'll be hearing the Brabançon in the award ceremony to come. So Jos Verlooy and Varane take the win ahead of Alex Granato. Dara Kenny in third, Laura Kraut in fourth, Kat Tyree fifth, Lacey Gilbertson and Belopi in sixth, all of them on double clear rounds. 41.62 was the time that won it though for Jos Verlooy. Looking down the order then, we've got Savannah Jenkins also double clear. Sorry, not necessarily double clear, of course, because winning round starting from zero. Erin Ballard with that great time, 41.12 with Kotoki Sun. Andy Coker, who was our first in the ring, held on for ninth. Cassia Rivetti then behind him. Katie Dinan, Devon Ryan, Margie Goldstein-Engel, Adrian Sternlicht, Amanda Derbyshire, and Brianne Coutel-Marteau, rounding out the 16 best who qualified for the winning round here tonight in Washington. Well, awards coming up from the bowl, and of course coverage on the Washington website of all of the entertainment between the two classes tonight, and we'll be back with you on the live stream at 9 o'clock for tonight's costumed accumulated class, the second international jumper class of the Washington International Horse Show, presented by Mars Equestrian.
Nice note here as we welcome back our top five. Finishing up in 5th place, coming into line, Catherine Tyree and Joy Lewis. Then it's Florence and Laura Kraut from the United States. Dara Kenny of Ireland makes his way up with the entry of Classic Dream. And Alex Granado is, again, the 2nd place finisher for the United States with Carlson W. And let's give a nice welcome back to Jos Verlooy of Belgium and Baroun, our winner. Well, Vicki Lowell, the president of the Washington International, joining us to make the presentation here of the trophy to Jos Verlooy of Belgium. And he'll also be receiving some cupcakes from Georgetown Cupcakes to celebrate his win. But before that, we'll ask you to all join us as we honor the nation of our winning rider. If you would all rise, remove cover for the national anthem of Belgium. Well, I salute Jos Verlooy wins the Ben O'Meara Trophy tonight, and it is time for a victory lap, our round of honor. Let's give him a nice send-off. Jos Verlooy with the win, Alex Granado in 2nd, Ireland's Dara Kenny in 3rd, followed by Laura Kraut and Catherine Tyree. There are your top 5 in our welcome stake.
And on their own this time, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the welcome stake, great start of the week for Belgium's Jos Verlooy and Baroun.
Well, exciting first competition. Much more to come, Stephen.
Certainly is. A whole host of top competition on the way through, and Jos Verlooy is going to be one to watch out for this week. He's featured here before in the big classes and including in the Puissance, which will be a big part of tomorrow's military night as well. But all towards a build-up on Saturday night for that famous President's Cup and the Longines FEI World Cup qualifier as well. All part of a magnificent week here at the Washington International Horse Show, presented by Mars Equestrian. Something for everyone, from the hunters to the Shetland ponies that we'll see a little bit later on. We've got all of that coming up for you, and that's just a little part of what's going to be part of Barn Nights here in Washington. All across the next few nights as well. Tomorrow night is military night as well. We'll be saluting the men and women